Hello and welcome to the Spirit Guide Daily. Hey guys, when we're in a collective, we all share energy, but these are timeless readings that will reach you when they are meant to. My dog may be about to have a coughing fit in the background, but hopefully not, and hopefully we'll be able to filter that noise out as well. So hey guys, this is the Angels Tarot. It's one of the DeBerg decks. I actually really like them. It's based on the Rider-Waite, heavily influenced by it, but it incorporates angel messages as well. We have the Divine Doors deck, which is an inspiration card deck. Listen, it was written in a different language and translated into English, and you can kind of tell in some of them, but it's still a very, very good deck. And then this is the Hidden Realms, The Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reid. She is one of my favorite deck creators. Guys, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe because it helps my channel. If you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. Please don't forget to check out my new podcast, Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica. And let's get going with the energy for the collective today. 1 and 2 and 3. And please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. Post bell notification. Everybody knows the drill by now. 4 Cups in reverse. Fascinating. So that is an underlying issues card, being haunted by something. I'm kind of interested because the last draw I just did also started with one, and I filmed these in batches. And that's coming out with the Queen of Wands in reverse. The underlying issue that you are trying to deal with is frustration and anger. And will they poke at your temper in order to try and help you heal that? Yes, because it's trying to teach you self-awareness. Underlying issues usually are about, please remember, anger is protecting fear. That is the easiest way to start understanding, why am I getting angry about this? Because something that has happened is frightening you. Whether it's about your security, your ability to connect, you're feeling that there's a point to everything. If you're feeling anger, set the anger aside, tell yourself to be patient and to understand, I'm angry. Why am I angry? Why am I really angry? And it's almost never because somebody has done something that is just making you rage-filled, because it's very, very uncommon to have somebody doing something so pitched that true anger is an appropriate response. It is sometimes, but throughout the day-to-day, mostly it's people bump into the anger that you are still trying to learn how to work with rather than to repress. And that is the struggle in healing past trauma, is trauma survivors learn how to push their feelings down, usually so that they can be safe around a reactive person. In healing, we have to learn how to coexist with our feelings, not trying to fix them, feeling them, but not reacting to them in a destructive way. And that comes out with the Hey You. That comes out with the Lovers in the upright. It tried to go into reverse. Now, this is the Gemini card, but the Lovers in reverse is a card of being in alignment, being in conjunction with your highest self. And it's also the card of good choices. It is rarely actually a soulmate card. As much as people like to think it's about romance, usually it is about the relationship that we have with self, the duality within, just like the Gemini, because it's the card for Geminis, is about the duality within as well, the two faces of the Gemini. Accept the inner dichotomy that exists within you and work with it, not trying to repress it. Here we go. Let's go. And let's get one from the Hidden Realms here. So the way to connect this is, if your underlying issue is frustration and you need to make good and solid choices in understanding yourself to be in alignment with yourself. And understand that, like, it's not, please don't think of them as a flaw in your personality. That exact same big boom bam energy is the thing that can get you, help get things done. It is your drive. It can be your ambition. But it can also, when somebody else controls it rather than you, can be the thing that is a destructive force within your life. And so that is one of the reasons that we are asked to work with our underlying issues so very much. Let's go with a Hidden Realm card. And by the way, it's not really keeping anything from happening. It's just affecting how you feel about your life. So that's the other thing. Things are still going to flow to you. But in order to truly have an experience in this world where you feel the connection to spirit, you feel the connection to magic, you feel the connection to our spiritual worlds. And I can be a very 3D person for a spiritual worker, but please remember, there's more to this world than we can see. We are surrounded by all forms of energetic magic and spiritual influence, and try to tap in and try to believe. Even if the life that you've been living recently has been mundane and drab, there is still something magical working behind the scenes. And that comes with the word Lord. Communication, praise, dishonesty. Now, everything will contain a shadow attribute. Please remember that half the time when people are complimenting you on something, it is because they're hoping to harness that energy within you. Please remember that part. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't allow them, but be aware. And it's not because they're evil. It's because we all have to walk through this world trying to pave our path. But the whole thing with communication and praise, understand that's not the only thing. More than one thing can be true at one moment, and usually is. Meaning someone can be very honestly praising you and impressed by you, but another part of them is wondering how they can make that work for them. And it's not because they're duplicitous, it's because in our drive to survive, everybody has a survival instinct. And it is like what I refer to as the monster in the basement of your soul that you need to put on a leash and make it work for you. Understand that we cannot truly achieve purity in this form, but that we can work with our lesser impulses in order to have a better experience and to like ourselves more. Like the very fact, I'm always talking about how this energy, the Queen of Wands in reverse, is like, God, save the people who get me truly angry. Because, like, do I hurt people? No, I don't. But unfortunately, that energy, I have noticed that people I get really angry at have a lot of things go wrong. And I have to be very, very, very careful with my anger. But I've been working with it for years in order to make it be something to turn it into drive rather than into explosion. And most of the people in my collective are going to have that too. Remember, if you have big happy, then you're going to have big sad. If you have big energy where you can get a lot of things done, then you're also going to have big mad. And it doesn't mean you need to eradicate nor ignore those bigger, more negative or darker energies. It means that you have to understand them and treat them as kind of wild animals in your care. How's about that? You don't provoke them, you understand them, and you're cautious with them, but you're never trying to hold them back or cage them. Distant dream. The distant calls your heart to roam free, and you dare dream it, so it must be. So this is interesting to me because I've been getting a lot about that. There's something manifesting, everything is coming into focus again. And something that you've almost forgotten about that was once a real focus for you is starting to come to be. And for some people, it's going to be a relationship. And for some people, that's going to be success. And for some people, it's going to be a home. And for some people, it's going to be all of those things. But it has been long enough as you dealt with these underlying issues in order to understand, again, this is a card of dichotomy, and this is a card of dichotomy. In order to coexist with the dichotomy that exists within all, you have been through kind of a training session. It doesn't mean that your life is always going to be a long series of battles. You're not always fencing with the worst part of yourself. You're learning to understand it and to treat it with the kindness towards yourself and towards others that will make it work for you rather than against you. But all of your dreams are still coming to you. And if it feels like it won't even matter by the time I get here, I've been so sad for so long, it will matter. When everything changes, the way you feel will change. And if you're not there yet, and because not everybody's at the same stage in this journey, if you're not there yet, then keep going towards it. And it does require a commitment to self in order to do so. But that's part of self-love, is being willing to accept yourself as you are and to not trying to fix yourself, but rather to heal yourself, okay? So that was Spirit Guide Daily for today. You are still dealing with some things. You are being promised that more is coming to you. And honest to goodness, the thing that keeps holding you back is you get frustrated easily. And you're doing better and better, and know that every time that you have faced something and you're like, hey, I did much better with that than I used to in the past, you can still keep making gains. You're not arriving at a finish line at any point. You will be working with that inner dichotomy till the end of your days. Love it, because it is also responsible for the things you like best about yourself. Take care. Be well. That was Spirit Guide Daily for today. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below.